Welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Stewart Spotlight, another episode, another Friday. I want to thank you for tuning in. My name is William Stewart Jr. and I will be your host this evening. I hope everybody had a nice week and getting ready for the weekend. Make sure you wear your green because Sunday, I believe Sunday is St. Patrick's Day. I have a few announcements to make. Last week, we had a young lady by the name of Tan Chester on the show, on the program last week. And we received a lot of acknowledgments and prayer. And even the pastor of St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, the Reverend Christopher E. Taylor Sr., invited her to come to the church whenever she have a moment. So I encourage you to look at the program last week, Praying Mom, in which it would be very uplifting and encouraging. We had a special guest that was coming on today, but due to a schedule conflict, and he could not make it, so he sent a video, and I want to play it.
Hello, everybody. It's your man, Robert ImTume Owens, and shortly you'll be seeing a live podcast on Stewart Spotlight that features me, my music, and my videos. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, I have a concert and I won't be there. But I'm sending my brother, who knows where all the bodies are buried and he can answer all the questions. Remember, Robert ImTume Owens. Enjoy the music and enjoy the show.
That was Robert. Let's see how do you pronounce his name? Robert Matumi Owens. Don't be laughing, Anthony. I can see you laughing. So. With that being said, let's bring on Anthony and let's see where the bodies are buried. Welcome to the show, Anthony. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing well. First of all, it's Robert ImTume.
Oh, ImTume. ImTume.
Yes, ImTume.
I was going to get it right eventually.
You're going to get it right eventually, probably after the show is over. But
we got jokes right now. If anyone is looking at the show this evening, me and Anthony goes back for over 20 years. We used to work together at Malcolm X College, and Anthony was the public relations director, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That was.
Yes, sir. When is this formal getting involved? But anyway. So, Anthony, I believe your brother sent you in his place, and I was really hoping, not to discourage you, but I was really hoping to hear from him. But he said, you know, where all the bodies are buried, so let's bring it on. So, as the director of marketing for your brother, what is your duties and what is your role?
I really just keep him in line, and what I mean by that, if you're familiar with artists, most artists can be they're into their music and they're they can be either self-driven and very focused, or they can be all over the place. So my job is really just to keep him in line.
Oh, okay.
I'm the younger brother, but sometimes I have to act like I'm the older brother.
Okay, so now, was music his passion? What age did he start singing?
He actually started singing at a very young age. We both grew up in Los Angeles, and this was during a time when people used to get bused to school.
Okay.
So although we lived in Los Angeles, my brother was actually being bused. He went to West Hollywood Elementary School. So he was being bused, and that happened to be the same elementary school that the Jacksons went to school.
Oh.
So he actually went to school with Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson was the last one that was pulled out of school before they started, doing homeschooling back then. But he started singing back then. he started singing in competitions at school. And then our father, who's passed away now, is a Pentecostal preacher and a pastor. So he also learned how to sing in the church.
So you were
That's probably
so you were a PK kid.
yes, I was, and everything you heard about PK kids, don't believe it.
Well, I don't know. So what age did he start singing? Because you said he was singing with the Jackson at one point.
Well, he went to school with them in elementary, but he was singing in, they would have talent shows at the school. So
Okay.
he started singing very early at around 5 and 6.
Oh wow.
We knew that he could carry a tune. But as
Okay.
he started getting in the church and, he was always in the choir. We grew up in the Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal church. So, a lot of famous groups have come out of the Pentecostal church. So he was always honing in his skills. And by the time he got to high school, he was still singing in the choir. He also played football. But then he realized I can be more popular by singing and not have to worry about workouts and getting hit by 300-pound guys and still be popular with the females
Uh-huh.
by singing. So he stopped playing football and just devoted his time to the choir and singing.
Yeah, because I was listening to one of the songs, and I need to play one of the songs because I really like the song. But listen to this one.
Hey baby girl, it's been a while, and I'm so glad that you could meet me here today. There's a few things that's been on my mind, so have a glass of wine. I've got some things to say. There's not a minute, hour, day, or time when I don't think of you and the day you walked away from me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got into it. Yeah, I really like that song. I really like that song. So what inspired him to write that song? And do he write his own songs and
Yes.
lyrics and stuff like that?
Yes, that particular song, a gentleman, Andy Wellington, out of actually the UK,
Hmm.
sent my brother the music
Okay.
and said, "I need." He produced the music, but he didn't have the lyrics to it. So he sent my brother the music and said, "Can you write a song um, to this music?" And so they worked on both sides. He was in the UK. My brother was in Chicago at the time, and they produced a song. The two had never met, but Andy Wellington had knew of my brother, and he had knew of his talent. So they produced a song. He wrote the lyrics and the song "Elementary." That song went on to become #2 in the UK charts, #1 in Canada, and now it's charting in South Africa and West Africa too.
Oh wow. So does he do the tour with this as well, or he just is just going up the charts?
No, it's going up the charts. He's actually we were in the UK in London and Swindon, which is right outside of about 2 hours outside of London, in a concert there. We were also just got back in January in Cannes, France. He was also performing there. So the music is really popular in the UK, and I'm in in that part of the country and the world. It's just so happened that our music is a little bit different here.
Okay.
Soul music is really popular over there right now. They're really into their soul music, but it's just a little bit different on how you get music played here in the States.
So now, did he did he go to school for writing music, or was it self-taught, or how was that done?
I would say probably it was a gift from God.
Oh, okay,
Um,
great.
he's been able to sit down and write a song. He had produced a gospel album many years ago, and when my mom passed away, he actually the day of the funeral, he didn't want to be around anybody. He went down to Lake Mead in Vegas,
Mm.
right outside of Las Vegas, and sat down by the water and just wrote a song right there called Jesus that's on a gospel album that he wrote. So he's able to just put that pen to paper. And what's good about his technique, and I'm not just saying that because he's my brother, but he takes life stories. He's able to take life experiences and put it to on pen to paper and write a song that people can resonate to. They can understand. They can actually get in that moment. They can understand, wow, how it's easy to fall in love with somebody, and it can be as easy as one, two, three. It can be easy as elementary, easier
Wow.
than breathing.
Okay. So he wrote his own songs. He traveled, and most likely he has a gig tonight. That's one of the reasons why he could
Yes.
not make it. And so he's making. So how many? Now you mentioned about the Church of God. You believe? I believe you said that.
Yeah,
So now
Pentecostal
did
Church
he?
of God in Christ.
Now he wrote something for the Church of God. Not for something for the Church of God. He wrote some musical, Christian music as well, didn't he?
Right, right. When he lived in Vegas, he was actually the minister of music
Okay.
for a church in Las Vegas. And with us being preachers' kids, born and raised in the church, he had always had that gospel flavor to his music. And I'll share with you guys and the audience here. He was always struggling because he had a personal relationship with God, but he knew he had a gift.
Hmm.
And so he was struggling. He was half in the church singing, half singing music that's R&B and soul music. And my father, who was a pastor, kept telling him, look, Christians need love music too, need love songs too. You go to any church and see little kids, that means somebody is making babies in the church. So, they're not doing it to reggae, they're not doing it to rap. So, you can still have a personal relationship with God and still have a love for R&B and soul music too.
Okay, great. So tell me something about your brother that people want to know about your brother.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that he's actually a very outstanding chef. A couple of years ago, or many years ago, he was featured. There was a TV show called Too Much, 2 Million, where I think it was three or four guys, young guys in Vegas, they lived in a mansion, and their goal was they were poker players, and their goal was to raise $2 million in real money playing poker in 2 months. It was called 2 months, 2 million, and he was the chef of this mansion. So he was the one feeding these guys. These guys were in their 20s at the time. They didn't hit the 2 million mark, but they still won close to $1 million just playing video poker. So he's always been a chef. He's and his meals and dishes are outstanding.
Oh, so you might have to come here and give a little taste test around here.
Yeah, actually, there was a show. I don't know if you remember a TV show called The Chew. It's not on anymore, but it came on early in the day. It was called The Chew. He was featured on The Chew during the Thanksgiving episode, and their Thanksgiving, he did our actually family recipe for giblet gravy
Hmm.
and dressing, and that was one of their most popular recipes to that time, up to that time before the show went off the air.
So now he has another CD out that's called Vibration, I believe.
Right, right. It's another song that was out last year,
Hmm.
and it was also very popular. And it was actually shot. The video was shot in Chicago.
So what was the elementary shot at?
We shot that in L.A. We went back to Los Angeles, and what was really great about that was the first time that my brother and I had stepped back in Los Angeles at the same time.
Okay.
We had both gone back home, but to be back as adults and be on the same soil and the same sand, so we had to shoot the video in Los Angeles.
Well, let's hear a little of the Vibration.
There goes that lady walking to me again. Every time I see her, I'm so glad she is my friend. And when I look into her eyes, I know that she wants more. And maybe so do I, but for that lady, there's so much more. We got a good vibration, a mystical attraction, a positive reaction, electrical connection, and I don't wanna lose it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that too.
Yeah.
So he has
Yeah.
that gift of help me out. What's the word am I looking for? Just
I mean, first of all, again, he is my brother, but yes, he can sing. He has that swagger. He
that's
has
the word I was looking for. That swag.
that voice that no matter it transcends time. You
Okay.
have some artists that'll come and go, but that true R&B that you don't really hear anymore or hear that much of, that true soul music that you can't go to the radio station right now and go to a soul station. The
Okay.
majority, they don't exist now.
Okay.
But that's that voice that he has.
Okay. Like you mind stand around for a moment? We need to take a little break right quick, and we'll be right back with Robert Anthony. Hello, my name is William Stewart Jr., President and CEO of Stewart Spotlight. The purpose of this podcast is to showcase individuals like yourself. We all have something to share about our lives. Therefore, I challenge you today. If you went through something, coming out of something, and just want to share your testimony, we would love to hear your story. So please give us a call at 888-552-1944. And one of our producers can make arrangements so you can appear on this podcast, or visit our website, stewartspotlight.com. Because of your experience, it can reach someone who is watching this podcast and make a difference in their lives. And we are back with Anthony D. Owens, representing his brother, Robert Matumi, right? I'm going to get it.
It's coming.
It's coming.
So I was waiting on that piece you just showed. I was waiting for you to turn around and start playing the piano. I saw the sheet music.
I could have done that just by pressing one button. It would have played by itself.
Okay.
So, Anthony, what advice would you or your brother would give to other inspiring musicians who want to get into the music industry?
I would say, and I'm sure my brother would say the same thing, is don't give up. Don't give up. When God gives you or anyone a talent, he gives it to you or gives it to that individual. And it's up to that person to glorify God, so to speak, through their gift. And and don't let man define your success. Don't let man determine, no, that's not what we're listening. That's not what we want. If it's gifted in you, let it shine because somebody needs to hear it. No one has a talent that should be hidden under a bush, under the ground. God gave it to you. So let it shine.
Right.
And don't let anyone deter you from that.
Yeah, determination. This is one of my passion, Stewart Spotlight. It was more, I want to reach people or individuals who has a story to share, because you never know, your story may reach someone who is listening that may be helping them. So
Yes.
Now I noticed that you mentioned that your brother has a passion for cooking, but what other hobbies does he engage in?
Well, a lot of it is around music. He has 4 girls that he loves and supports them dearly. Actually, that's why he moved back to. He lives in Kansas City now, so he could be closer to now his girls they're all grown women now, but he moved so he could be closer to them as they continue to grow in their lives.
So
but as far as go ahead.
So whenever you guys get together, do he start singing, or y'all just get together as a family, or?
Well, I put him in the kitchen. When we get together, he doesn't want to cook, but no, he goes in the kitchen.
Oh.
Yes, but he will. He has a great sense of humor. He's always playing. And that's probably why I get it from. We grew up from a young age playing practical jokes on each other. So we're always playing. You get me, I'm going to get you. So he'll come with you with a serious look on his face, but that's when you need to watch out because he got something up his sleeve.
That sounds like Malcolm X college days, huh? Okay. We're gonna move forward from there.
Yes, please do.
And my last question is, what legacy does he hope to leave behind through his music career?
Through his music career, he's looking to, one, leave a legacy that soul music and love songs aren't going anywhere. He wants to. He's a great storyteller, and he has a gift of putting that story on paper and turning it into a song that everyone can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And when you relate to music, it'll bring you back to a time and place. You can remember what food you're eating at the time. You can remember how the smell was in the air, and it's all connected to music.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope your brother one day can come on the show, and maybe he can give out some CDs on the show. Some of his CDs. Mention it to him so we can, give some of the viewers some CDs, some free
I will
CDs.
make sure it happens.
Okay,
I will make sure it happens.
I'm going to hold you to that too.
Okay.
So, so Anthony, what you been doing lately?
I live in Maryland,
Maryland,
right outside of Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually the vice president of marketing and communications for the largest black-owned bank in the country,
Okay.
called City First Bank. We have branches in Washington, D.C., and in Los Angeles, and we just focus on businesses that support Black and brown people, whether it's in the city of Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Richmond, but anybody that's doing business with businesses in the Black and brown community, we support them,
Okay.
and we support them financially.
Okay, great. Well, Anthony, you tell your brother I wish him the best in his endeavors, and I want him to come back and give us some more. So, my last question: how many songs has he written with the videos?
He has several. If you go to YouTube and do a search on Robert ImTume Owens, you're going to find a lot of his music, whether it's Elementary,
Okay.
Vibration,
Okay.
Don't Give Up. He has a lot of music out there.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm really partial to the videos that you just showed because I produce those videos for him. So
you're gonna throw your little plug in there too, right?
I have to. If I'm going to be on your show and we've known each other for a while, I'm going to definitely put my plug out there.
Duly noted. Well, Anthony, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and feel free to come back in any time.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
All right, thank you. Well, we just heard a little about Robert ImTume Owens, his songs, and I have to play this song one more time because I really like that song, and y'all just listen to it.
Hey baby girl, it's been a while, and I'm so glad that you could meet me here today. There's a few things that's been on my mind, so have a glass of wine. I've got some things to say.
Well, I like that song, so thank you. Next, we had a little, matter of fact, it's time for last week we had a trivia question, and we have two winners. Two winners from last week. They were a minute apart from being the first person who sent an email to the website. The question was, what was the first book in the Bible? And the answer was Genesis. The two winners was Zanika Stinson from Atlanta, Georgia, and Milton Scott III from Palm Coast, Florida. And we want to give them, your shirts will be coming to your house within 5 to 10 business days. Congratulations. And we have another question. This is going to be a little bit difficult. Not really difficult, but just a little bit. And for the person who would answer the question correctly, I'm gonna do a little twist in this one. The person who answered the question correctly will win this: a Stewart Spotlight T-shirt sponsored by William Stewart. But this time, we're going to the third person who called in this phone number and leave a message in the general box. The third person will win a t-shirt. And the question is, who was the 16th and the 44th president of the United States? Okay, so the first person who answered the question will be receiving a new t-shirt sponsored by Stewart Spotlight, and I wish you the very best of luck. Now comes to the time where we will hear a word from Brother Minister. Okay, where you at, brother?
Listen. If we're gonna keep on, Brother Anthony, that soundtrack was awesome. I got a scripture for you. Proverbs 18, it says, "A man's gift maketh room for him and bring him before great people." He has a gift. Music is the key. Music is the essence. It changes moods. It changes lifestyles. It changes behaviors. Oh my, music. If he continues to do great music, even in the gospel arena, R&B is the key. That his music go far beyond to touch lives, touch hearts, embrace nations. His room will make good gift for him. His music will make room for him because he's gifted, and I hear it. Sounds like somebody I know. Brother Stewart, back to you.
Brother Minister Lee, I really appreciate that very much. And most likely we'll see you next week. Well, I want everyone to tune in for next week, next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear a dynamic and inspiring educator and union leader, Dr. Rochelle Robinson Dukes. She will share her wealth of experience and her perspective on education and leadership. You wouldn't want to miss this. Female leadership in academia. So, well, that concludes this show today. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed my guest today. And also, I want you to keep something in mind. It's not about me. It's all about you. I was given a little quote. When you could, you wouldn't. Now you want to, but you can't. Until next week, have a nice weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe, and we'll see you next week.